Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of today's stream. This morning, we went around preparing a bunch of stuff. We did some mild and harmless eco-terrorism that still might get me killed at some point. We basically spent a lot of time prepping for the stuff that we are now going to get to this evening. So I've got most of the stuff in my inventory. I finished smelting the gold berries and came back home. So let me really quickly just make the Arthanas. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. And then we can throw them in with the other gear. And that is the altar portion of our task completed. The next part is to make a crystal ball. Like the one I have out here. Now, you guys have seen me use this one a bunch. Every time I pass by, I hit it with the hopes that I'll get one of the really good ones. And then I forget to pursue it up and make sure it happens. So then I get the same one for like 4 days. I'm not very good at maximizing this. I'll work on it. But that's only a minor thing that the crystal ball is capable of, and arguably the least important. And I'm going to show you why that is momentarily. Now, you can tell the fortune of another player with it if they're around. Nobody can come see that crystal ball currently because it's within the range of my bound specters. So they would kill anyone who got close. However, let's see, this is a Goblin Town Waystone. This is where I am. Let's see. Oh, we can do the end. All right. Oh, and let's see. Let's just grab this one too so we can talk about it as well. Even though I'm not allowed to use it for reasons I will explain momentarily. There we go. Okie dokie. So, probably the most interesting thing that a crystal ball is capable of, aside from giving you random predictions that will give you, special things that happen in a little while. For example, in this case, if I break stone, I might get a bunch of coal. Or, it can accidentally summon one of the bosses, specifically Baba Yaga. But the really interesting thing it can do is this. If you hit it with a waystone, you will see the place the waystone is bound to in this view. You can see me the tiny bit down there, and it'll slowly rise into the sky as long as you hold down until you let go or it reaches the build limit. So if we do it again, you see if I let go early, it stops early. So it's a little difficult to scry with this, but it does mean that you can look at any place you have a waystone for, and the waystone is not consumed. So currently... I'm trying to hit it with, I think this is the Goblin Town one, but Goblin Town isn't currently loaded in. Let's try the end. Yeah, same issue. So it's got to be a chunk that is currently loaded in order to work. So you may want to put a poppet shelf down as an anchor if you want to look at a place. Or just use the ones that correspond to some place where somebody is currently has the chunks loaded. The other thing I grabbed and put in my inventory, let's pop these up here, is a blooded waystone. Now, blooded waystones are much more difficult to make. Unlike a normal waystone, which as you presumably know, 8 chalk and some waystones can just do it anywhere. A blooded waystone has a specific rite of binding that has to be performed with the person in question in the circle. And you can see there's both an altar option and a non-altar option. And this is actually really difficult because blooded waystones would make amazing weapons against people, but it's really hard to get someone to stand still in a circle that's activating a ritual around them and then grab the waystone before they do. So I've been putting a lot of thought into trying to figure out blooded waystone traps. I've tried about 5 or 6 permutations of this one that I really want to try. I've not been able to get it quite yet, but I have a new idea that I think might work. So that'll be shown on stream whenever I can figure it out, with the hopes that I might actually be able to snag someone and hit them and steal a waystone off them. Because these can be used for a whole host of things. For example, my owl's up here. If you give an owl an item and then you click it with the Blooded Waystone, it will not consume the Waystone, but the owl will teleport to the person in question and drop the item on them. Now, if that's a normal item, they'll just drop it for them, and that is the foundation of the owl mail office that I'm setting up in Greenmount. But if it's a splash potion, they will instead throw it at the person. So if you can acquire a Blooded Waystone of someone, you can use owls as drone delivery methods for various potion effects, good or evil. You can also use them for rites of transposition. The same way that you've seen me use normal Waystones in order to travel to a place, you can use a Blooded Waystone to travel to a person. However, it is consumed when you do that, so I would not advise it unless you have some way of making a bunch of these, or if they're a currency on your server, that sort of thing. The other thing you can do won't work right now. As you can see, I'm trying to click it, and it's not doing anything. But if the Emperor of New Desertlandia were on the server currently, I would be able to look through his eyes by holding this against my crystal ball. It wouldn't consume it, so if you can get one for everyone on the server, you can spy on what they're doing at any given time, which is obviously really powerful. This specific Blooded Waystone, I'm not actually allowed to do that with, because I am contractually bound. I made this one as part of a deal with him to help get the Owl Post Office off the ground. I'm not allowed to use this Waystone for anything other than sending owls with harmless packages. So I have to find a way to actually steal one from him, sneakily acquire a Blooded Waystone for him in the future. I keep to my deals. It's very important to me that my word is good on this server. So those are the things you can do with Waystones and a crystal ball. And as I mentioned during the previous stream, what I'm currently building right now is essentially a nuclear silo with charged creepers instead of missiles. So the crystal ball will be our targeting system. It's going to be the way that I check where I'm firing before I fire. And again, since this is technically a new stream, even though because I took a couple hours off, I want to point out I'm not using this preemptively. I'm not making a nuclear silo so I can just start nuking people's cities and stuff. But the idea occurred to me, and I thought it would be fun and goofy. And in the event that something does end up happening with the server and people get violent against Greenmount or any of the other cities under my protection, I want to have the ability to, look through their eyes, see that they're in a place with no collateral damage, and then dump a charged creeper on them. That seems like a nice thing to be able to do. So, the remaining things we need in order to finish that aspect, let's do the crystal ball really quickly since we're talking about it. It would be under Infusion, which is this section, second to last tab. Right of Infusion. Crystal ball, see the future. Quartz sphere, gold ingot, and happenstance oil. Now, I don't know if I have any quartz spheres on hand. Surely I must. I know I made a bunch before, but I don't know where I've left them. I know there are 4 up, but I don't need those. I'll make a new one. Might as well. That is 4 blocks. It's quite a bit of quartz, but also I made all these blocks by accident when I was doing tinkers, thinking that you could turn it back into normal quartz, which I then discovered was not in fact the case. So that's a little unfortunate. 4 normal quartz, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a piece of glass, which I definitely have a little bit of glass. Okay, grab that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. There we go. And then the quartz around the edges, and the glass in the center, and that is a quartz sphere, and then it said a gold ingot for the base. You can see I've added a little bit of extra gold from the trip. And then happenstance oil. This is another ointment, so we'll be making it in the kettle. Oh, yay, more redstone soup. Alright. We start with the drop of luck again. You make quite a lot of these in Witchery. Never gets easier. I know I have... There it is. Tears. More refined evil and more mutandis extremis. Grab that. Grab that. This. And a gas tier. There it is. Okay. Okay, that's begun. Then I need to go to the cauldron. Hello, cauldron. Make that for me, please. Lovely. All right, and then we grab the refined evil and we make our drop of luck. Almost there. Great. After that, it's on to the redstone soup, and then from there, the happenstance oil. Success? Success. Marvelous. The soup, I've already forgotten, is redstone, tongue of dog, belladonna. Redstone all the way back here. Tongue of dog up here. You can tell I fought a few hellhounds from all the tongue I've got. Redstone, tongue of dog, belladonna. Wool of bat. Mandrake. Grab that. Alright, just making sure that's correct. Redstone, tongue of dog, drop of luck, belladonna. Redstone, tongue of dog, drop of luck, belladonna, wool of bat, mandrake. Great, that's it. Let's get brewing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, crud. One of them didn't go in. Shoot. Okay, those are wasted. This is all the wrong... Oh, no, that's what's wrong. I put it in a kettle. I mean, I put it in a cauldron. This is a kettle brew. What am I doing? Well, fortunately, I didn't waste anything particularly significant. Except the wool of bat. Yep, that's a tragedy. Okay. Redstone. Let's try this again. Redstone, tongue of dog, drop of luck, belladonna, wool of bat, mandrake root. Let's put it in the actually correct brewing device now, please. Let's also grab some gypsum so we can clear the messed up cauldron. There we go. All right. Take two, this time for real. Redstone, tongue of dog, drop of luck, belladonna flower, wool of bat, and mandrake root. There it is. That's a redstone soup. Grab a glass bottle. Collect. Marvelous. Now let's do it again. Redstone soup. Followed by a golden carrot. Followed by a potion of night vision 8 minutes. See if I have one of those left over. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, how do we make one? Vanilla brewing, not exactly my specialty. Okay. Awkward potion, golden carrot. Awkward potion, golden carrot, redstone. Turn that into nuggets. Make these carrots golden. Great. And then the nether wart. And 3 glass bottles. Excuse me, Cordelia. All right. Glass bottles. Nether. Oh. Those don't have water in them. What am I doing? Try this again. Bottle up. Great. Then we put these in. Put in nether wart. That'll make an awkward potion. Then we put in a golden carrot. Okay, so redstone, golden carrot, potion of night vision, a spider eye of ender, and mandrake root. Those are all pretty easy, actually. Wait, hang on 1 second. Almost done. Here we go. And the awkward potions will become night vision. Let's see, a spider eye, and an eye of ender. And a mandrake, right. Also, I just remembered that I don't actually need a whole blaze rod, I need a blaze powder, but it looks like I don't have any leftover blaze powder, so I guess I'm just making some with this. Yes, Umbra, what is it? What? Use your words. Alright, Eye of Ender, Mandrake. That's alright. That's alright, and then I just need to boost the duration here. Alright, and then once that's done, we can make our happenstance oil, and we can infuse our second ever crystal ball. There we go, I got there in the end. Oh, another fun fact about the crystal ball, only its creator can use it. Anybody else who tries won't be able to see anything, which is a handy little security feature that'll at least force everyone else to make a crystal ball before they can do any of the same tricks that I'm currently trying. Alright, here we go. One more check. Redstone soup, golden carrot, 8-minute night vision. Redstone soup, golden carrot, 8-minute night vision, spider eye of ender, mandrake root. Here we go. There we go. White smoke means it worked. Grab a glass bottle and acquire some happenstance oil. Now we pop over here. I think this has to be performed at night. Yeah. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's go check the clock. Well, it's not very far in the day, but fortunately we have other things that we can do, so we don't just need to make it night, even though I can. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm impatient. We might as well just make it night. Stone axe? No stone axes. Let's fix that. 1, 2. Do. And quicklime. I think it's quicklime. I guess we'll find out momentarily. By the powers vested in me. Dark. Yay, there we go. Alright. Now, by the powers vested in me, let us see the future. Haha, look at that. Fantastic. Okay. We'll add that to the collection of things that are done. Alright, what else is on my list? Let's see, I've got the tag lock, got the poppet shelf. Another brick. Oh, yes. Let's get some building materials, because I don't just want to make this, you know, completely mundane. I want to actually make it look kind of cool. So we are going to use something that I actually haven't used in any of my builds. Pretty much all of my little aesthetic details are just either made of plants or made of obsidian and inspired by the end, since obviously I've worked a lot with the magic of the end. This time, though, I think it's appropriate for nuclear warfare if we use materials from the nether. Now, this is still, you know, boring 1.7 nether, but should have some nice supplies for us. Where's my hammer? Oh, there's my hammer. Now, this is going to be a little slower because I am going to have to smelt these rather than just... As the Tyrant pointed out, you can just get an auto-smelt hammer and then rip through the nether ceiling and you will create a bunch of nether bricks automatically, which does sound super cool, but I'm not going to take the time to make a whole tinker's hammer hiding out in the forge in the Emperor's house just so that I can get nether brick a little bit faster. Besides, we've got plenty of coal, so, you know, smelting is not terribly difficult. We're just going to grab as much of this as we can fit in our inventory. Okay, about halfway there. Also acquired some quartz, which I guess is nice also. I have so much quartz, I really don't need more. Just real quick, let's heal that up. Okay. The hammer's doing okay on durability, so... Ah, I see somebody else has been having this exact same thought. Okay, we're getting close to a full inventory. Almost there. Okay. 9. Oh, I did. My hammer hits too fast for me to count how many I'm breaking. Looks like one more. Can I get only one? Perfect. Okay. And now we return home and we set all of this to smelting so that we can make nether bricks. Oh, I left a few bits and pieces there. That's alright. There's plenty of netherrack. Oh, and I guess this will now spawn hellhounds. How lovely. Ow. Oh, I got a head from that one. Or rather, I would if I had space in my inventory. Hang on. I mean, I don't really need any of these, but I guess I will throw one of the, or a couple of the netherrack into my knapsack so that I can fit a few extra bits and bobs. Okay. All right, and down we go. Oh, it's so liberating being able to fly. Definitely my favorite bit of magic that I've done. Oh, what's clicking? What clicks? Spooky. All right, now that we're stacked to the gills with netherrack, let's start that baking, and I'll make a little bit of extra red glass so that we can take that with us too. And we'll need, we might need some otherware chalk. I am not sure, so we might as well grab it just to be safe. All right, netherrack. 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 Netherrack and netherrack. I should really get a larger furnace wall, but I don't know. I use it kind of inconsistently. Still might be worth the investment. While we're here, why don't we just break the quartz? Since Invoke Expertise gives us automatic fortune. Pop it over here. All right. Okay. That's the way cutter. I don't have my nice pick, but fortunately, I don't need it. That's Accio. I know it already. That is Calum. Fabulous. All right. I forgot how good quartz is for experience gain. Nice. Okay, marvelous. 31 quartz, doubled our yield. Bring it back home. We can reset our tool default now. There we go. All right, drop off the quartz. All right. We don't need enough necessarily to finish the project, just enough to build part of it that I need to add today in order to do this. And then I can finish the rest of it off stream. Brick. Brick, brick, brick. Okay, that's a start. Get a bit more. Oh, yes, the red glass. I just threw my pickaxe again. All right, now I have a little bit. I tried a couple. I tried the stained glass from Tinker's Construct, and I also tried the normal stained glass. I ended up deciding I liked the normal better. So let's make a little bit more of it. Now, poppies are super valuable, so I can't spare that many to make red dye. And I'm pretty sure it's the only thing I can use. Oh, I guess I can use some of the... Okay, so I could use red tulips and rose bushes, but I'm not sure that I have any of those on hand. Yeah. So we'll use poppies. Hang on, we'll just put them in here. And let's make some glass. Great. 24 should be way more than enough. And if it's not, I'll make more later. Again, we're not finishing the build today, just getting it to a relatively complete place so that you guys can all see it and envision what it will eventually become until you see it again. 34 blocks. And then I make the fences like that. Okay. Other things we need before we go. We need 2 demon hearts. Actually, is it just 2? I think we might need 4. Demon hearts are the most valuable altar resource, which is why you can hear that persistent beating. That would be the 2 demon hearts I have above and below this altar. The beating is incessant and has probably driven me mad, and I've just not noticed. But you can only get the altar power benefit from 2 demon hearts, but the benefit is big. It's like 40 or 80 or something. Default without multipliers. It's only the second most. The only thing better than it is the dragon egg, but unfortunately the tyrant has that, and there is no other dragon from which to acquire one. So that's a bit of a moot point. So we'll have to make do with the demon hearts. All right, more netherrack. I've got a bit, just a tad. Grab that, refill that, grab those, refill that, grab from these, refill, here too, and then down here, and here. Okay, and then the extra we'll throw in this crate that I'm using for everything random that I mean to get to after the stream. Okay. Let's see. We can make that into 16, and then this into almost 3. We'll leave the other 2 there. This should be plenty. Let's see. Is that everything on my list? Crystal ball, netherrack, waystones, demon hearts, toglet. Yep. Yes, perfect. Okay. Let's grab some chalk. And let's go do witchery. Alright, so we gotta fly to the next mountain peak over, which is in this direction. Follow the waypoints. Really, journey map is the most useful thing, because if I had to remember coordinates for everything that I go to, hey, red bushes, I could use those for more dye, then it simply would not work. All right, and now you can see sort of the basic aesthetic. You can see I ran out of nether brick and finished it with dirt and fences, so it's adorable. Oh, I forgot I already left the ingredients here for performing this. Smart of me. Well, now I've got extra ingredients. Speaking of which, let's take all of our stuff out so that we can set it up. Step 1 is the altar. Let's figure out the best place to place this. So obviously there's nothing around here to power this altar, so I am going to have to dig down underneath this into the mountaintop in order to like plant stuff under there. I could also just like plant stuff around up here. I could even nature's power like we just saw earlier, which I might do. But for now, for the sake of simplicity, I think I'm just going to break this stone. We're going to place the altar here. Yeah. Let's see, what's the best place to have the edge at? Cloud, get out of the way. I'm trying to develop weapons of mass destruction here, and you're not helping. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to put it, yeah. So we'll put the last brick there. 6 blocks, and we have an altar. Grab the cobblestone. Okay, now we also want an ender chest. because as I mentioned earlier, ender chests are where I store my resources that I can't allow anyone to see, which will include the waystones that we put into the altar. So next step, demon hearts. Just 2 of them for this one. There's 1. There's 2. And now we've gone from 104 to 184. But we are about to dial that way up. Let's put the extras back. Nope. Just one. Just 1. All right. Let's figure out our little layout. I think I'm going to put the crystal ball in the free slot, and we're going to make that right here. Not enough power. Yep, we're about to fix that. Put a candelabra here. Gives us a bit of light. Increases our recharge time. The chalice will increase the power. Good. And then the head will increase the power even further. Great. That's 1100. Not very good, but again, we'll fix that later. And then an Arthana. And there's a spot for a pentacle that I probably will never fill, but that's an issue for future me. So let's see. We now have enough power to use the crystal ball, which is good. Which means we don't need to focus on expanding our altar power. For now, we can fix that later. On the other hand, what it would be lovely to do is finish some of this. Let's make a few more fences. I envision that eventually this will be closed over with the roof of glass. So that it'll have a nice top. And also it's going to have little chambers branching off from the main one. So we'll build one of those now, since we're going to acquire a singular charged creeper as a demonstration. Let's build me a little more fence. Should also make a chest, but I don't have any wood, so let's go down, grab some. Flying down the mountainside. Getting my axe. Great. Grab some birch. All the way back up. And let's make a chest just to store some of the stuff we're going to be using. 2. Now the lovely heartbeats of dead demons have returned to this place as well. It's good that I can never be free. That there. Let's just make it a double chest. We might as well. That. Around. Marvelous. Okay. Extra stuff can go in there. This is not extra yet. The glass probably is extra though. I don't think we're getting to roof territory yet. Alright, so here's our basic setup. Now this has 2 circles. That's intentional because, as you may have noticed, the rite of transposition for summoning something is 11 by 11. So if we're going to make charged creepers somewhere else in the world, and we're then going to teleport them here, we need an 11 by 11 otherwhere. But as you've seen many times with the waygates, traveling to someplace is easy. It just requires a simple 7 by 7. So the outer circle is for summoning our charged creepers. The inner circle is for sending them out. And the graspers just make it easier. All right, so first silo is going to be on this side. Okay. So first we need to extend the floor. And then for aesthetics' sake, we'll put that down there, okay. Extend these. Should we make it one block, or should we give them a little area to be in? I mean, they're creepers. They'll probably be comfortable in one. Put that there. This here. Here. And we'll fence around. Gotta make a little bit more fence. As you can probably guess, I'm not much of a builder, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to do funky things. Okay, so then we'll put this here, and then glass over top, probably, just to show that, so we can look in and see that something is... Ow, I'm suffocating. All right, and do I want, actually, I might try fences here. Hang on, it's quite dark. I can fix that. Hang on. If I can remember what the infusion activate button is. A quick Google search to remind myself. Yeah, okay, it is. There we go. Used one of my bat charges and given us night vision. Okay. Now, yeah, I think I want more fence. Is it really that short? Is that how long that lasts? Wow, that's abbreviated night vision. No kidding. All right, that's fine. So where's our glass? We put our glass away. We could just illuminate this normally. Glass. Just a couple pieces. All right, so this is one of the chambers of our silo. And it is soon to contain a creeper. Now, for now, I think I'm just going to slap down a fence here after we get the creeper inside. But in the future, I'm probably going to make it automated. I'll probably do it with a piston, a sticky piston underneath that can just push this up in order to keep the creeper inside. So eventually this will be fancier. For now, though, we can make do. Okay, drop that off, all of that. Next, we need... Actually, we can drop this off too, since we have extra version of it available. We do need the tag lock kit, however. We're going to need this. Oh, you know what we need that I forgot? We need ordinary chalk. I can't believe I completely forgot that. We're also going to need this. Okay. So we'll have to go home to get some ordinary chalk. which is fine because it looks like it's day and the creepers I was seeing have despawned. So yeah, we'll pop on back to the valley, grab our extra chalk that we need, and then we will come back, and hopefully by then it will be dark, and if not, we will make it dark using magic, just like we already did, so that we can find a creeper more easily. I brought the poppet shelf to use as a chunk loader, but I've realized that since it's all dark around the weapons storage facility, I don't actually have to go far afield in order to find one. I can do one that's right next to me. We just got to get one to spawn. Recharge a bit. There, lovely. Okay, ordinary chalk. I had some earlier. There we go. What's the clock say? Oh, it's almost night. Perfect. In that case, we will leave it to the normal passage of time and not terrify all of the denizens of Strigaria by forcibly accelerating time and manipulating the celestial bodies in order to make it night early. I've always thought of all of the rituals in here, despite being very simple. It's if you apply real-world logic to it, it's quite terrifyingly powerful. Of course, you could also just imagine that it blots out the sun and that's it. But clocks would disagree with you. Okay. Let's find ourselves a creeper. How's my armor doing? Fine, fine. Right. I know they still spawn during the day. I'm just not sure if there are any around and about. But the sun is already starting to go down, so that will shortly solve our problem for us. Oh, I should ask, am I wearing the right... Yes, I'm wearing the right clothing for this. Not you. No. Unfortunately, both my computer and the server have been shut down for a big chunk of today, and it did not fix how laggy the hostile mobs seem to be. I'm gonna have to speak with the fellow server people about that and see if it's client side or host side. Anywhere, creepers anywhere. Give me more opportunities to go underground. I'll look for one there. Any ravines? Actually, it would be ideal for us to do it under the open sky. This looks like an old creeper explosion. I've probably been here before. I had to mind control a creeper in order to make a mine drake. Make my first mine drake plant. Which is funky little fellas that explode if you drop them on the ground. Well, not immediately. After a moment, they stand up, and then they charge at nearby people and explode. But more relevantly for me, they're used in custom brewing. They're the highest level of duration upgrade. Alright, is there a creeper in here? Getting up to the surface will be a nightmare, but... Oh, a goldberry bush. That is worth keeping. Great. Oh, and some aluminum. I've heard that some of the folks on the server are currently buying aluminum. So if I can grab some of that... Great. Pop. Nothing up here. Will it hurry up and get night already? The clock said it was almost time. I think my clock has lied to me. Whoop. Bop. That's an aluminum bush. Multiple aluminum bushes. Don't mind if I do. Hey, rude. I'll take iron. I hear a bat. I'm gonna go back to the surface, but first we gotta find that bat. Hush, hush, I have a bat to deal with. Sorry, bat, but your wool is too precious to pass up. And just like... Oh, what did I reset? I reset my cat again. I brought the wools, I mean the leather, specifically so I didn't have to do that. Shoot, I should have been paying better attention. Oh well, such is life. Alright, the sky's out here. And somehow it looks brighter now than it did before. Alright, we're just gonna... Oh, did I miss the night somehow? Whatever. We're gonna just make it night again. It's easier that way. 2 sticks. On the bright side, this does give me a chance to drop all of this unnecessary stuff in my inventory. That... I don't need a bow, but I brought it back anyway. Iron and aluminum. Oreberry bushes. String. And wool of bat. Replace the one that I wasted earlier in the cauldron. Alright. Cobble gives us a stone axe, and then I think actually I've got some quicklime out here that I might as well grab. There we go. Alright. Let's get back to night so we can find a creeper. Fantastic. Broom in hand, off into the night. Now, it's an big open space on the mountain, so there should be some spawning up there. Without any additional effort from us. Yes, there's one. All right, my friend, you have a glorious destiny. Okay, so I do have to kill these other undead that are around without hurting it. All of these mobs can go away. I'm very busy. I've got very important things to do. All right. So we need to make a hole for you. Stop. Okay. Grab all this gravel, get it out of the way. We're actually going to need to put some of it back, specifically one, and then I'm going to grab a piece of stone for the other. Because I like having a more solid block for my heart glyph to rest on. Okay, now, mind control. And I'm going to say, oops, that's the wrong one. There we go. Hop in there. Come on. Come on, just hop in here. Hop in here, you know you wanna. Perfect. Thank you, my friend. And for the record, I am wearing the witch's cloak, so he's non-hostile. But now that I've mind-controlled him, he wouldn't be hostile to me anyway. Okay. Now the real question is this going to work? Put the heart glyph there. We'll use the gravel to fill in the rest of the circle. That. There. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. You do not belong here, I'm sorry. Thank you for your wool. The donation is appreciated. Okay, now let's get this messy stuff out of my inventory and into my knapsack. Do. Oh, and I can put away the chalk now, too. All right, moment of truth. I'm going to summon my witches and see if they can assist me in this. I'm not sure if that will actually help or not, but I guess we'll find out in a moment. I should probably step out of the circle. Uh-oh. Did I accidentally do the outside of the circle one? I think I have. Oh, where did my... Hang on, where did the attuned stone go? What happened to my attuned stone? Those are valuable. Dang it. Okay, well that was fun, but completely incorrect. Oh, I see. You can't do it without altar power if you want to do it inside the circle. Alright, which all that means is that we need to do it in range of the one up here. So let's see. Our center block is here, which means you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 16. The Arthana means it's doubled. We can go anywhere on this part of the mountain would work if we can get one to spawn or walk up here. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But that's definitely below the height limit because the current, let's see, this is Y114, so going down to 28 below that would be 86. Y86 is the lowest I can go. Oh, it's just barely too low, actually. Stop, stop, you're hurting my armor. You too. Really, only one of those hit? Okay. I see another creeper who's a little closer. We're going to try and use you. But to do that, you also must be mind controlled. Okay. Now hop on up here, please. Seriously? Okay. Hop on up here. There we go. All right, you've got the right idea. We're definitely climbing the mountain. Let's try over this way. I have a good feeling about this way. Where did I put my gravel? Great, we'll just make you a gravel staircase. Arguably the worst block to build with, because I have to use the full amount every time. Oh, hang on. I was already ready to go up to this level. Okay. So then we need to get up to the next level, which means going over here. And then here. Up to here. From here we can get here. Or we could go over here and then make this work. Alright, up to here. And this brings us all the way to the top. And we can build a circle up here. Perfect. Got some cobblestone now. Great. Let's go find our friend. Still down here at the bottom. Here. Sharing the top up with me. Don't accidentally become hostile to me because I'm damaging myself, though. That would be inconvenient. Heh. You can't handle pure life energy, my friend. Alright. Almost. Oh, come on. Hurry up. Let's draw the simple versions. Okay. Alright. Time for a climb, my friend. Nope, up here, please. Oh, very, very lovely done. Well done, well done. Up here next, please. Wow, I was expecting this staircase portion to be much more of a nightmare than it's proving to be. Our creeper friend has good comprehension. Over here next, please. Ow. You need to go before you set off my creeper. Go. Where are your particle effects? Are you cured somehow? Nope. Still mind controlled, just not displaying it. Weird. Alright, hop on up here. Over here. I'll go deal with the unwanted guests. Oh, and now one shows up all the way up here. I'll deal with you later. That's fun to use. Okay, now that we are definitively in the range of the altar, let's set up our little circle area here, I think. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Alright. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Hi. Alright, friend. Pop over here if you don't mind. Just come in here or into the enclosure I'm building. Right here. Come on. Well, I'm fine with both of you staying. Yeah, no, that's great. We have a volunteer. Love a volunteer. Okay, but maybe don't leave. That sort of defeats the purpose. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, and then we need 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. Add a gravel. 3. Okay. And now we just call back the errant one. Oh, enough with the mobs. Very annoying. Oh, I forgot to break these. Okay, really though, come back. Where did they go? Are you mind controlled? I can't tell because the other one got invisible. Oh. Wait. No, those are my particles. I really can't tell, which is a problem because if I right click you again, I'll lose my, and you are, I'll lose my flight. So I'm just gonna push you. Or I will test. You don't, okay. There we go. Now you are. And I can summon you both in here. Thank you. You're very obliging. I appreciate it. Alright. Next step, we put chalk. Chalk. Let's double check the ritual this time so we don't make any more mistakes. Focus lightning storm inside the circle. Wooden sword, wood ash, a bound waystone, right, which we don't need. Oh, I guess we could have used that in order to set the circle here and then target them anywhere else. I think the maximum range of a waystone based right is like 350 blocks with a full coven. But we went through all the hassle to bring them up here. We might as well do it up here. 1, 2, 3. There. I hope the fact that they're not at the same level as the ritual isn't a problem, but I can't imagine it would be. Okay, and then we'll need a column in the center for our heart glyph. Marvelous. Alright. I don't want you both disappearing and despawning on me. I don't suppose I happen to have wood ash. No, I don't. I am gonna have to go home. Alright. Stay right there. Oh, I'm out of... Shoot. Forgot I'd used it so recently. Alright, that's fine. We will fly at top speed. It's only 350 meters. That's not far by broom. Should be able to get right home. Ah, glintweed. My darling. My slightly overused light source. Oh, that was slick. If unintentional. Okay, wood sword. Do I have one? No, I make one. Stick. Planks. Wood ash. And while I'm here, it looks like I'm going to need another name tag. Right. Paper, 3 string, and a slime ball. And just to minimize the chance that they're going to despawn, I'll take the anvil with me, and I'll do it there. Oh, right. I didn't catch my broom. Come on, top speed, speed crafting. Gotta get back before they despawn. I used to think that mobs with that were mind controlled wouldn't despawn, but now I'm not entirely so sure when it comes to hostile mobs. So I just want to be careful. After all that work we did finding them after all. It would suck for them to vanish. Like that. Ah! Alright. Can you break the broom? Please hit the broom. They really gone? They are really gone. That's frustrating. All right, time to find a new one. And I see a volunteer. Hello, my friend. Did it work? Oh, I'm getting server lag. None of my effects seem to be doing anything. Let's see if I can place my anvil. Okay, that worked okay. That is not for you. Or for you, for that matter. Oh, I got a witch's hand. Lovely. Alright. Where'd the creeper go? Why is this part so difficult? Come on. Well, I've already built the staircase. I might as well go get another from down here. Hey, spider jockey. Okay. Let's put all of these down before they break my armor again. Good Lord. Aerial bombardment of shurikens. Okay, that's 2 down. 1 still over here. I know you're here somewhere. There you are. There we go. You're easy, though. You can just be sorted. Okay. Let's try this again. You and you are both my friends now. Oh, we didn't quite catch that one. Hey, buddy, come down. There we go. All right. Up here, please. Can you get up the first steps? All right, then up here, good. Then up here next. Can you do all the way up here? I accidentally hit night vision. Doesn't matter. Oh, they're bumping on each other. It's okay, one of you can go first. Oh, okay, hang on. I'll break one of the... That's funny. Sure you can't figure it out among yourselves? Fine. Actually, it's got to be over here. No, not there. There. And then I got to break that. And now they should be able to get up here. Stop. Okay. Now the rest of the way. Hop on over here. I hear an arrow, sounds of somebody shooting at me. I just burned through another poppet. This hat is killing me. Thorns, real bad. All right. Oh, hey, there's another one that came up. Wow, I'm getting so many. No, come back. Join the club. Hop up here. There was another one here too. Can I grab you? I can. Oh, nope, that's the wrong button. That's the right button. Okay, now I gather all of them. Come up here. Great. Grab you two, because I might as well. Oh, actually, I only have two name tags on me, and as we've seen, they'll despawn. Alright, so now we try this again. Let's make a little... Ay, ay, ay. Let's make a little spot for me to put the ingredients for the right. Wooden sword, wood ash. It's very simple. Just confirm with the book. Altar power, wooden sword, and wood ash calls a storm inside the circle. I'll grab my seer stone. Actually, yeah, I'll grab my seer stone just in case that helps. And let's see if we can magically turn these folks into charged creepers. That's not... Oh, yes, but they're also on fire. This is not good. Okay. So there are upsides and downsides to what we have just learned. Okay, so the first solution we need... This water is going to freeze, isn't it? Or high enough altitude. As long as it doesn't freeze, though. We saw that they could become charged. So let's put that there and be optimistic and find a new test subject. Like you. Nope, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. Okay, you. Become my friend. Now, get over here. Perfect. Pop over here. Yep, great. Oh, I don't have more wood ash and wooden swords. Shoot. Oh, I'm a fool. Ow. Don't do that. Oh, I threw my pickaxe again. Well, this is fast turning into a comedy of errors, and there's the frozen. I'm doing my very best, I promise. Alright. Okay. We are going to preemptively name tag you this time because I'm confident that the stratagem will work. So let's get you in here. No, in here. Come on, in. There we go. Let's grab our... I christen the teleport nuke. We will use you to terrible effect, I hope. Okay. We'll break this when the time comes, when it's necessary. Hopefully the name tag means you won't despawn anymore, and I can head home. In the meantime, I might as well make an additional name tag since I brought the stuff for it. Okay, you stay right there. I'll be back in a moment. How's my armor doing? Oh, very poorly. Now seems like a good time. Oh, does the cloak require more? What about the belt? I know the shoes are 3. Yeah, okay, these 2 are more. Shoes can be fixed with 3, though. There we go. Let's pop back and fix the armor, just in case, you know, we get something random happens, like we get struck by lightning in this thunderstorm we have created. Want to make sure I don't lose this very precious armor. Or have to use... Really? How many? Oh, wait, there it was. It was 4. There we go, okay. I hear you. No. No. Oh, and those are now hostile. Let me put that back on really quickly. Kill this. Hang on. You have particles. How did you get out of... Oh, the ice. Of course. We're just going to block that off so that there's no way out. I am taking so much damage from these mobs. Okay, brought like that. Killed you. Get our test subject back into here. Come on. Come on down. Get over here. Marvelous. Okay. Stay in there this time. Let's repair my last bit of armor. Let's see. 3, 4? It's 4. What a mess I'm making of my inventory. Alright. I'm now back to being kitted out. I can make the name tag. I don't think they're going to have separate names. They're just going to be categorized so they don't despawn. Alright, I'll be right back. This time with several extra sets of equipment for the lightning ritual. Alright, technically, since I'm making these right next to the silo, I won't actually necessarily have to teleport them. I think I will anyway because it's not a very costly procedure and it's good to demonstrate. But my idea was basically just as I'm out living in the world doing things, because Strigeri is constantly dealing with rainstorms, thunderstorms, thanks to the Baron of Uberwald, who as a vampire prefers everything to be stormy and gray and grim so that he doesn't burn to death in the sun. So I figure the odds of me just encountering a charged creeper in the wild are unusually high. And therefore, I might as well be prepared just to have an option, you know, if they show up, I can teleport them. Okay. 4 swords. 4 swords adventure. 4 wood ash. This time we're going back and we're really hoping that our friend did not despawn, because name tags, as far as I know, are supposed to keep that from happening. Ah, the music. How lovely. Storm has cleared. I'm about to make it storm again, though, so there's that. Alright, yes! He stayed! He remained! Ow. Ah, look at you. Beautiful. Okay, so this time we need to make sure we have the water, have the equipment, drop off the extras, and we might as well... Okay, so Wood ash, wooden sword. Water. And then we sear stone. And we step back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, for pity's sake, it dealt too much damage. It's also just, now you're all on fire. Okay, this is why I designed this thing to capture them in the wild and bring them back. Oh, of course. I just need to use the Breath of Life. Alright, so we've got to find another volunteer. Yeah, I really thought this would be a simple one-try procedure. I was so very wrong. Alright, come on up here. Pop on over. Yep, this way. Thank you. Good, yes. Almost there. Did we lose him? Yes. Come on. I'm just trying to amplify your power level. To make your destiny greater. Stuff like that. Hop on in. The water is, as they say, fine. Okay, so I've got the Mystic Branch. Would a second water source reduce the jumping? No, you seem to be jumping no matter what. Do you jump as long as you're in water, or only because you're... Let me see if I can turn this into an infinite water source. There, and there. Okay, so yeah, it was just being in water at all, but fortunately now we have what I think is infinite water. It's harder for you to get out of it. Okay. We're gonna roll with this. Been mind controlled. I'm not gonna waste the name tag on you this time just in case it doesn't work again. Let's grab our extra ingredients. You and you. Okay. Now, I'm going to activate it without the witches. I'm not sure if that's quantity or damage. But... No, I think I'll activate it without and hope it works. And then immediately hit that with... There. There we go. Come on. It should keep you alive. It should keep healing you for as long as this lasts. And it fades. Oh, my best spell. Far and away. Ah, look at you. You're perfect. You are highly explosive. Alright. I need to... the ice blocks have arrived. No. Break. No. Do not freeze. If I have to, I can change the biome here specifically. But actually, let's leave one because we want our friend to come on out. Pop up here. Come on. All I have to do is get up on one of the ice blocks. Come on, over here. Having trouble with the water, huh? That's okay, I can help. How's this? Still bad? You really can't wrap your head around the water? Okay. This is just one problem after another, huh? Not your fault. Oh, yay, well done. Oh, back into the water, okay. Hop up here. Come on, I believe in you. Come this way. Onto the dirt. Yes, yes, no. You were doing so well before. Now when it comes to swimming, it's just clearly not your forte. Alright, come on. Out of the pool. Lifeguard says your time is up. We need more of this pool to freeze, so there's more floor. Come on. Come on, I believe in you. I believe in you. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, good, yes. Up, yeah! Alright, I said I was just gonna teleport. All of that for nothing. Alright, fine. You. Tag lock. Oh, okay, that was unexpected. How much power does this need? Okay, now see, I wish you were back in the hole. Okay. Power check. Rite of transposition. 3,000. We are currently not very far of the way there. All right, so... Update. You back in the hole. You need to be in a safe place while I work on this. Come on down. Good. I'm counting on the water to keep you there. Don't tell me you've now figured out how to move in water. Good. Good. Stay there. All right. So, off the top of my head, do I have the tree? I do. Well, that's an easy option. I just need a bit of dirt, which is easy enough to acquire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plant some trees. Do. Tree. Oh, I missed. Do. Tree. There we go. How much did that do? Oh, instantly enough. Marvelous. To be fair, it is a pretty great tree. All right. Do I have any other fun? Oh, I can plant a birch one. Might as well. That'll increase it even further. I don't want to get too close and interfere with the actual setup. So we'll put you down here. And you can grow in your own time. Okay, my friend, it's time to try this again. Ender Dew, Iron Axe, Waystone, and the Taglock kit. It begins. Yes! Perfection. Okay. I will just quickly grab the fence. And then you, I would love it if you would come over here. Yes, right in there. Perfect. Voila! We have our first teleport nuke accomplished, and it only took an hour and 37 minutes. I thought this was going to be like a 15-minute project. But we got there in the end. Yes, you look fantastic with your cool shimmery outsides. Alright, so we can see from overhead which chambers are loaded. Eventually there'll be chambers around the whole perimeter of the launch bay. We've got the graspers and everything in here to launch with. In order to get rid of the snow, I am thinking about using a brew of shifting seasons on the mountaintop so that it's no longer extreme hills, it's some biome that doesn't have snow. I could always do desert so that it doesn't have snow or rain. But as far as this stream is concerned, I think that is the extent of our work on this particular project. It's off to a very exciting start. I probably won't spend too much time making more of these. I'll just let them appear in the world around me, and when they do, I will tag lock them and send them here to join the arsenal. Alright. Well, that is a huge chunk of my things for today checked off. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Stop. Oh, did I name you? Did I forget to name you? Right, because you're in the new one. Wow, if I had left, it would have despawned. That would have sucked. Good thing I realized. Alright, let's give you your name so that you last. Marvelous. Alright. Now, that does check off a lot of the things I wanted to do today. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, with that war crime in waiting all finished, there is one more thing that I want to do today that I want to show off to you guys before we head out and wrap up the day of streaming, as this has turned out to be. So this is one, as you may have noticed, I brought enough altar stuff for 2 altars. So let's go to the other one, and I will show you why. Yes, okay, so what I'm going to need is yes, I need to make a shifting seasons potion, but not for the place we just were, even though I probably will do that eventually, because that snow is a little annoying. Well, I suppose once it has a roof over its head, it will be less of an issue. No, but we are making a shifting seasons for an entirely different purpose. I should explain what I mean when I say shifting seasons. So, one of the most powerful effects, a level 8 effect in custom brewing, is shifting seasons. It changes the location you splash to a new biome. This can also be replicated with a ritual. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, here it is. The Rite of Shifting Seasons. You use the biome book to determine what you want to shift it to, and then you need Spider's Eye, Toe of Frog, Wool of Bat, Tongue of Dog, Owlet's Wing, Attuned Stone, and a Charged Attuned Stone. And I think the first Attuned Stone is consumed by this. All of which is kind of expensive, but so is making a level 8 brew. The difference is that if I do the rite, it only works once. However, if I do the level 8 brew, I can put it in my urn and I can use it forever. So, with that in mind, we need to make a level 8 brew, which means we need capacity 2 for 8. Just one. There we go. Yep, 2, 4, 8. Power, of course. I'm still not going to max this out. I think I'm going to save... Generally, I'm going to save maxed out brews for my brewing series. So we're just going to do the cheap version. This is instantaneous, so I don't think I need duration, but I might as well throw it in. There's no reason not to. I have plenty of redstone and obsidian. So that's capacity, power. And once again, I've never made one of these, so I'm not sure if dispersal and lingering also work. I'm pretty confident that gas and liquid would be irrelevant, so it is going to be splash, but we might as well throw in the ingredients for dispersal and lingering, just in case that does increase the area that's affected. I'll actually check on those. Extent. Wood ash and cocoa. Yes, that's right. And then belladonna and lapis. Okay, and the last thing I need is the main ingredient, the effect ingredient, a biome note. So if we look those up, there we go. Okay, so it is, how do I make it? Paper with the Book of Biomes Extended Edition. All right, I think I have both. Oh, whoops, nope, I need that. Okay, there's the Book of Biomes, and there's the Book of Biomes Extended Edition. And this is sort of this book, which you can find. Actually, I should point out how you make it. You make it with stone around a Book of Biomes, which has these basic ingredients. And this is used specifically for shifting seasons. It gives you the exact details of every category of biome. You can see all 111 biomes that are currently available to us, and it gives us the description of what's possible there. So we know what to do, and we know what effect we'll have when we are using these this spell. So we want to find something. We want to find swamp. There are a few options, but the one we want, I think, is ordinary swampland. Yeah. Yes. So, it has rainfall, but not snow. It has lightning. It's humid, but none of that super matters to us. All that matters is the swamp aesthetic. So, let's craft this with a piece of paper in order to get a biome page for it. Biome note. Oh, there's still something in there. All right. Book of Biomes, Swampland. Paper. Biome, Swampland. We can put the Book of Biomes back. And now we can make a swampland brew. This is very exciting because this is something I haven't tried before at all. Normally I test stuff before doing it on stream, but we're just out there today doing crazy stuff. Okay. 2, 4, 8 capacity. Level 2, 3. Duration 2, 3. Probably irrelevant, but we're doing it anyway. Biome note. Wood ash, cocoa, belladonna, lapis. And we'd like it to be a splash potion. Now let's grab some glass bottles. Let's hit ourselves with invoke expertise to get his... That's gonna be the wrong one. Getting better at stopping before I actually wait. Oh, for pity's sake. There we go. Bop. Alright. Moment of truth. How much does infusion power does this cost? Oh yeah, easily half of our infusion power. And there are a lot to bring out of this cauldron. Splash 3, Linger 3, Shifting Seasons 3. Oh, we need to rename this. I left the... I'm a fool. Alright, we're going to leave that one there. We're just going to make a new one. I think I've got enough iron. Yeah, I got enough iron. Okay. This is our new home anvil. Friendship ended with old home anvil. It's now responsible for the charged creepers. Let's see if the pentacle is helping, by the way. Oh, yeah, look at that recharge time. That's so much better than it used to be. Okay. Slowly working our way through this very full cauldron. Okay, so we made this with swampland, so we want to name it. Actually, we want to name all of them if we can. Okay. Hello, Votan. We spent a lot on this, so we want to make sure we get our full cauldron's worth. We're going to also need some more EXP berries. That's fine. That's doable. Give the altar a moment to recharge as well. All right, what else are we going to need to bring with us? Right, yes. Okay. Grab these. So the Nature's Power ritual we used earlier was not just for trolling. It's actually extremely useful for setting up a new altar, and I'm going to show that off in a moment. Once we've finished emptying this eternal cauldron. But it does mean that we know the ingredients that we want for it. Let's find an attuned stone. One of each of the saplings. We're gonna have to make a new oak because we're so low on oak saplings. Pop, 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 pop. Ah! Pop, 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 pop. Whoa, that's a doozy. Beautiful tree, we thank you for your sacrifice, for the life that you have given, that we may do magic and bring more life to other places. This is the way. Oh, there's Ember Moss down there. I appreciate that my home base is hazardous even to me. Captures some of the factionless power of nature. Okay, there we go. Great. Oh, and we even got some apples, which I don't use because I don't consume food anymore, but that's all right. All right, we need wood ash and quicklime to charge the attuned stone. We need glowstone and we need redstone. Let's run out and do that. And in the process, grab some more from our cauldron. Oh, we got 2 that time. It was almost full. Okay. Pop, 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 pop. Charge. Charge. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then I will just make sure that's the full ritual so we don't get out there and discover that I'm missing something. Nature's Power. There it is. Right, the Brew of Sprouting, of course. I knew I was missing something at the start of the recipe. You know, now I think about it. let's take 2, just in case. So we are going to need an extra one of each of you. And we are going to need our other attuned stone. Plus, we're going to need to charge it. Redstone, glowstone, wood ash, and quicklime. Did I put 2 there by... Ooh, okay, server lag. Everybody's favorite. How's this going? Do I still have brewing expertise? I do. But not for very long. I might run out of glass bottles, funnily enough. No, it looks like there's only one left, so it should be my last bottle. Surprising that we've gone that far. We're gonna have to turn all that glass that I've got sitting around in the building chest into actual bottles. Alright, charge that up, and our Nature's Power set is ready to go. Okay. Let's recharge a little bit of our own energy while we're waiting. Great. You not done? Why are you not done? Oh, okay, we're getting close. Okay, so we've got the Nature's Power. Ooh, I almost just used it. That would have been bad. Okay. We got 7. How much is that going to cost to rename? 35! I don't think I have that much, but we'll give it a shot. Chow down on some experience berries. See how far that gets us. Not looking good. Ah, so close. Let's go visit the EXP farm. I do find it surprising that the Shifting Seasons brews don't tell you what biome they've been keyed to. That seems like not a great thing. Easy to forget, and also makes pretty much renaming them necessary. But I don't mind. Thanks to Tinkers, we've got access to all of this lovely EXP farming. Is that a bat I hear? I think I hear a bat. But I don't see one. Right, might as well collect the gold and aluminum while we're down here also. Okay. Alright, 35. That's all we need. Toss those in there. Run back up and quickly rename. Alright. We got a surprisingly big haul. 10 whole potions for a level 8 brew. That's unusual. And good. I mean, if anyone else wants to have the ability to terraform, we'll be able to sell it to them. Refill that. Our new brew of endless water is almost out because of all the water we used back on the mountainside. Alright. 35 levels. Well, let's rename you Swampland. Great. All 10. We only need to bring one with us, though. There's no space left in here. Okay, these brews are useless, so we can put it in there. Grab the one for ourselves. And just to prove that it's useless, sadly, a tree brew that's drink does not grow a tree right where you're standing, which is what I would want it to do. Or turn you into a tree, as several of my friends hoped it would. We're just gonna put it in here and pretend that's a trash for now. Okay. What am I still missing? This is such a mess. I've got to fix this. Hang on. Is there space in here? No, there's not. It's full. Is there space in the other one? Gonna have to make a new brew bag. Okay, there's space in this one. Thank goodness. Let's make this the tree bag, actually. Let's go grab all the trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a 6th in here. All right. Oak, birch, spruce, hawthorn, alder, and rowan. Oh man, I wish I had more. I'm gonna get more EXP because now I have a name for this brew bag, and I want to give it its name. Let's head on down. I'm actually think I'm gonna carry this with me in my knapsack just because it's a nice storage for all of the tree brews. And as we've seen today, those are surprisingly useful. All right. I don't know how much XP I'm gonna need to rename this. I expect 15-ish, but I'll just take this all. Eat it as I'm heading upstairs. Oops. We are going to call you Appleseed's Satchel, because it is full of trees. Now that we've done that, run over here and we can grab, there we go, splash alder, splash oak, birch, alder, hawthorn, spruce, more spruce. Okay. And now we can put as many of those in here as we can fit. Which admittedly will not be all of them. There should still be more space in here now, right? We can fit, yeah, we can fit these now. We've consolidated a bit of space. Put that up there. Great. Okay, next steps. Right, I need a hoe and some plant seeds. My almost broken iron hoe. Let's take the nice new one. Or the almost new one. I don't know why I have so many hoes. Plant seeds. Not mandrake. Yeah, well, yeah, mandrake. 5. Not you. Mushrooms. Snowbell. Got belladonna. Melon. Cocoa. Will I be able to use cocoa? I'll take them just in case. And now I'm realizing my inventory is cluttered, so I'm going to have to do something about it. Throw all this on the ground. I'll pick it up in a minute. First, let's put you entirely in here for storage purposes. Let's drop off the aluminum. I'm falling through the floor again. Drop off the aluminum ore berries. Go grab all this junk and sort it into the appropriate places. Let's see. Snowballs go in plant products because they come from snowbells. Sticks go in trees. Arrows in loot. Rotten flesh and witch's hands in here. Also bones. Also gunpowder. Gravel is a building material. And wool is an animal product. Making this organizational system, as messy as it may look, was an extremely good idea last season. Now at least I know roughly what everything is supposed to be. Saves me a lot of time. Alright, any more seeds? I see wolfsbane. I should leave one of those behind. I'm missing... Oh, there's pumpkin. Water artichoke. So let's go get some. Okay. You two. 4 seeds. There we go, up to 6. We'll replant one of them. And a couple water artichoke globes to boot. I always miss the water when I'm trying to avoid that fall damage there. Not that it actually deals me any fall damage. Alright, globes into there. Alright, this is like all the major plants I can think of. So with that... Yes, okay. I'm finally ready to show you the actual last thing we're going to be doing today, now that we've done all of our prep work. Let's grab our broom and let's go off into the sunset. Towards the Maw. So this is the place that we visited last stream, which we've set up basically as the home base for our undead necromancy business. Anything that we're going to be doing related to that is going to happen there. So that's summoning zombies and skeletons and zombie pigmen, which I showed last time. It's also soon going to be summoning and binding spectral undead and creating fetishes, which are these funky little objects that contain a bunch of spirits, which can then produce a variety of magical effects. Which I'm very excited to get to probably in a couple streams. So, this is it. This is the Maw. The center of the lake is made out of hollow tears, which is pure death energy made into a liquid from the spirit world. We've surrounded the lake in infernal chalk and changed some of the soil around it into graveyard dirt. But despite all that, it still looks kind of lively and fun. And that's what we are here to fix today. This island looks very alive for pure death and necromancy. Fortunately, witchery gives us the ability to change the biome, and while that can't change the blocks, we don't need to change the blocks. We just want to change what they look like. So first, this is new since last stream. I've added stone and vines and everything to this area, and I have created the barrow. The barrow is going to be where we put our brazier, our equipment for summoning specters and banshees and poltergeists. If we come down here through the curtain of moss, welcome to the barrow. It's illuminated by witchlight, vines growing everywhere. These blocks around the edges are made of bone, and this 2-block deep place is where we are going to be summoning all of our spirits and then binding them into spectral stones and fetishes and all of that. And I wanted to go with a bit of an underground tomb kind of vibe to it. This is our altar, and the reason that I brought along a full set of altar stuff, because I made the altar itself, but I didn't get around to topping it. So, very quickly, let's just candelabra. Chalice. Knife. Head. And then let's put the 2 hearts on it. You'll see it does already have a lot more power than the others because of all the vines. There's grass, there are these oxeye daisies, there's tall grass and normal grass, and there are trees. So and there's a little bit of Spanish moss in there. So it starts at a much better place than the other one did. These hearts will nevertheless be very helpful. Also, you know, we can't live without the spooky beating in our ears. So that brings us up to 6,348, a number that is about to change. So, welcome to my altar chamber. I mined out this whole thing, except for the dirt, because, you know, dirt does contribute to altar power, stone does not. So I left the dirt in. I've lit it up a bit with witch light so nothing spawns down here. This is a 28 by 28 cube, or technically it would be if it continued another like 14, 15, 16 blocks above. The square at the bottom is the 28 by 28, and then we are on this floor, we are exactly 14 blocks below the center of the altar. The altar, that is the range of that an altar can collect power from. So what we've done here is we've basically created a maxed out chamber which we can fill with plants to increase our altar power. And this is something you may want to do if, like me, in this instance, you're doing a build, sort of, I'm turning this island into a bit of a build, that you don't want to spoil by having to do your whole witchery setup and fuel the altar and make sure it all works. You can just dig out a big cavern, a big square cavern underneath, and you can fill it with plants. And there are 2 main ways that you could go about doing this. You could do it the methodical way, where you systematically plant everything so that it has the exact right amount of every plant in Minecraft, in your mod pack, that can power the altar, and thereby create the perfect altar with some crazy amount of power. But that's very organized, and I'm a wild mage. I like to do it a little bit more thematically, a little bit more chaotically, and it is for that reason that we will be using the Right of Nature's power again. So, this is just off the center. Where is the center of the altar? 1 step in front. Alright. So, we're going to have to cut into that dirt some, but that's okay. I don't like the way it looks as much as I like the other bits. Also, I couldn't quite get the full cube out here because there's sand here. This is under the beach. So I had to stop at a certain point because the sand kept falling on me, and just leave the sandstone. And I admit, I think it looks kind of cool. Anyway. So, it's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 diagonal, and then here. 2, 3. I hope this chalk is large enough. I may have already used too much of it. Two, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. We had enough chalk. All right. Yeah, let's just break this dirt. We'll fill in with some much more attractive trees and other plants. You guys have already seen this this right in action, so you know what it does. Leave the part up here, but we'll break everything down here on ground level. Okay, dirt grabbed. Is that deep enough for water? Actually, I can probably go 1 more. Good enough. I'll mess with it later. Okay, now for the moment of truth. We are going to swap out the seeds for the ingredients. Put away the dirt. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a step back. Grab the seer's stone, and here comes the coven. Hey, Cordelia. Let's bring this place to life. So, as a reminder, we were at 6,384 altar power before beginning this rite. Let's go grab that. And things should start getting pretty down here. There we go. Trees coming in. Grass and water. Changing the stone. Melons. I should have broken all the witch lights. These might be blocking things from spawning. So I'm going to start breaking those. Just in case they're getting away. Oh, that tree is huge! It's going to get a bit dark down here, but that's fine. I was mostly lighting it up so that I could deal with the mining it out process a little more easily. There we go. Break that. And you'll see that the full area is in range of a maxed coven rite of shifting seasons, which, as we saw nature's power. As we saw the range on it's pretty impressive. Whoop! I almost got caught in that tree as it spawned. Okay, break you, and you, and you, and whoa! Ow, Ember Moss. The truth is, with all the glintweed, it might still be completely lit up even without any of my witchlight. Sorry, Tallgrass. You were collateral. You, and you, and you, and you. And there's more over here. Get those two. It gets nice and moody down here in the cave with all the lights gone. Alright. Are there any that I missed? Aha, yes. Over here. Oh, and I'm glad. I didn't know if it would spread all the way up here to these little outcropping things, which is why I brought the seeds, so that I could plant those and have something pretty on the dirt outcroppings. But it turns out the rite reached all the way up there as well. Alright, are you done? Did you... Ooh, lag. Alright, did you finish? No, you're still going? Nice. Alright, we can climb up here onto this tree and look down. And now, what a awesome, like, enchanted grotto vibe it has now. If you come down from the thing, it's not done yet, but we can check. Yeah, we've just doubled our altar power to 11,000. Now we come down, and doesn't it look so much more fun coming down into this? Ah, awesome. I'm a big fan of the Rite of Nature's Power, if that hasn't made itself abundantly clear today. Hi, what? What are you doing down here? Are you hostile? Yeah, okay. I guess you are. Okay, fine. Be that way. I didn't want to kill you. You'll leave me no choice. Oh, a little mushroom has spawned. I'll plant it. Alright, so when this stops, looks like it has. Alright. Now that's pretty good in and of itself. That's pretty complete. But you can see there are still spots that have almost nothing, which is why I brought enough to do it again. On the same exact spot. Okay, and I'll hop back, get out my seer stone, summon the coven for one more round. of terraforming this cave into the coolest underground forest ever. All right. It's doing its work again. Should fill in the rest of the space. I expect there to be basically no stone by the time we're done. At least on the floor. It probably won't affect the walls. Alright, while it's working, I'm going to run up here. It appears to have reached the surface. The surface was in range. It made a singular tree, which is partially stuck in the ground. Alright, my friend, you have done well. But there's not really space for a tree up here. This is part of, yeah, that's part of my, kind of my workstation here. So I am going to have to ask you to depart. Oh, that tree came all the way from below. What? It just burst up through the ground? That is so cool. Well, I can't kill that. No way. That down there, I will cover you up with dirt and you will be underground tree forever. Very impressive. I did not realize that it could overwrite surface blocks if it spawned a big enough tree. That's very cool. Okay. I'm gonna fill in. That explains where the extra dirt came from. Here. I will fill in the dirt. And, oh yeah, a couple other things I added. So I've added this small circle and a chest, which is currently empty, so that I can cast the night spell whenever I want to, because obviously if I'm going to be summoning undead, even if I'm doing it in the middle of the lake, they're in danger from the sunlight. So I'm going to want to make sure I can make sure it's constantly night, so I'll stock this with stone axes and quicklime, so that whenever I need to, I can just set it to night. Over here. No. Over here, we have the waygate for the maw, which eventually, when I choose to, if I choose to ever use these undead as soldiers, I can just bring them over here with mind control, and then send a bunch of them through. All at once with a single waystone. I'm just going to have to do it with a grasper, because otherwise the zombies will pick it up and then they might not drop it again. And generally, don't drop things around zombies. They're very annoying about it. Alright. Oh, I didn't get my second attuned stone from the center. Let me do that. There it is. Wow, look at this. It really did do pretty much almost everything from the rest of it. Wow. Very lush. Very, admittedly difficult to move around in. Let's see, is it fully lit? Is there any spaces where mobs can spawn? I'm not seeing any. Oh, up here. Well, that's fine. I was going to work on here anyway. Oh, I got a creeper heart from that last one. That's actually a great deal. Okay, hang on. I'm going to put that there. Then let's get out the hoe and all the seeds. And put away everything else so it doesn't get in the way. But I picked some seeds and things that aren't actually that may not actually be grown by the ritual, so that I can plant them and acquire a few extras. A few extra bits of altar power that wouldn't otherwise be provided to me. So let's plant some wolfsbane. Let's see if there's a jungle tree in here I can plant my cocoa on. Let's see, jungle tree. Oh, it's getting even, the foliage is getting thicker, folks. Through here maybe? No jungle. Oh, are you jungle wood or are you oak? You're oak. You're oak also. Ow. Ember moss. Should really put fire res on. Oh, I think you're jungle. You are! Marvelous. I freaking fire. Ah. Alright. Let's just plant some cocoa on you. There. Now you can grow cocoa. Up here, let's hoe the rest of this. Okay, melon seeds. These need an extra thing to land on. I think. I don't know how to farm in Minecraft, I'll be honest. Just put them here and here then, and hope that they land on either side, I guess. Let's plant some belladonna in the middles. That. Yeah, these two are reserved. Let me unhoe them. There we go. Okay, that's reserved for melon landing. This is also reserved for melon landing. Although, to be fair, there are tons of melons below us, so this is purely unnecessary. But I'm doing it anyway, because I brought the seeds. Let's grab that. We'll plant some snowbells. You too. More snowbell. What it really needs is more snowbell. There, and there also. All of you. Snowbell. Mandrake. Everybody's least favorite plant. Now I have my earmuffs on me at all times because they're aesthetic. Mandrake. Now a bit of wheat. Just because, I mean, why not? There. All right, now I've got pumpkin and I've got water artichoke. Water artichoke is easy. Plenty of water down here. Pumpkin. Gotta find a spot for it to land. There's one. Here we go. Some water. Here works. We'll put this jungle sapling over here, I guess. It's not going to grow. And that is okay. Hawthorn there. Plant some mushrooms in the darker corners. Oh, I overwrote that fern. Sorry, fern. You deserved better. There. And these, honestly, these red areas might be fixed given enough time as the glintweed spreads, which we know it's very good at. So yeah, I've made this one into a little bit of a farm. I can do the same to that one if I bring more seeds or if I harvest these, all of which will contribute to the altar power, which, by the way, let's take a look at. Our altar power is now up to 14,484, which is actually more than my altar at home. And this took us very little time at all. 2 quick rituals, a bit of planting, and we have now created what I think is the most powerful altar on the server. And it can go much higher than this. So, yeah. That's just a really easy way. Admittedly, it did take me a while to mine all of this out, even with my hammer. So that's the real time-consuming part, is getting the chamber. But once you have the chamber, it's a piece of cake to make a very powerful altar. I'm actually thinking I'm going to hollow out the area under my home base and do this there too, so that I can improve it. Okay. Now that I've done that, let's do the final stage, which is to take this swampland brew. Oh, wait, I meant to add some vines and Spanish moss around the walls down there, just so that it's not just gray stone and it looks better. But you can't really see to the walls anyway, admittedly, most of the time. I'll do it later. I'm not in a huge rush. I'll probably do Spanish moss specifically. So yeah, why don't, actually, here. I can grab a couple pieces. This will regrow. And we'll go set this to grow down there. First, we should probably feed ourselves before we start starving to death. There we go. All right, now down we go. Whee! Oh, nope. Out of, there we go. All right, let's put one here. Put one, ooh, up here is good. Up here will spread nicely. Let's find our way back here. There. All the way up here. I accidentally dug into this funky little water pocket, which is underneath the hill above us. But this marks the edge of the altar range, so anything in that little pocket is not actually affecting the altar. So it doesn't matter as much for our purposes. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something fun with it. It looks cool. It's hard to find a spot here. This wall in general is going to be tough to find a spot. Let's just put it up here for now, I think. Ooh, hang on. Yeah, all the way up here. I like this. It'll spread down. Same rationale here. And here. Oops, I walked on the crops. Don't want to destroy those. Yeah, and then one here. And the more time I spend here, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time here, the more all of the plants that spread, like the vines, the Spanish moss, the glintweed, the more all of it will expand to cover more space and thus give us more altar power. Ah, fantastic. Look at all that power. All right. Now it really is time for the final step of today's stream. I have weed seeds. Go away, weed seeds. All right. Now I don't know how much infusion power this is going to take, but because I don't exactly know what it's going to do, I want to go test it off the island first, just to make sure that it is an effect we're happy with. So, let us change this. Let's change that spot over there to swampland. Okay, that's tiny. That is not what I was expecting. The ritual does a much larger area, which I suppose makes sense. Yeah, so we're in Sunflower Plains. Ow. Mobs. Okay, problem solved. And then right here, we're technically in swampland. It's not a very noticeable difference. I was hoping that I could make the island look... Well, there's a little bit of difference. My hope was basically that I could make the island look like the swamp over here. Hang on, let's fly over there and see what the what biome it's described as. Let's see if we got it right when we said swampland. Because I want this to be, you know, all sort of grim and gloomy the way a swamp biome is. Okay, yeah, swampland was right. We should be able to get dark water and greenish gray grass. So let's try a couple, and if it doesn't work out, it's obviously not a very large area that it affects. If it doesn't work out, I can always just use the actual ritual. It's a little more expensive, but nothing is too good for aesthetics, as I think we have proven today. Will you die already? Thank you. Alright. Let's hit it. Okay, so we're in plains. 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 Swampland. Alright, so it's a 9 block area, 3 by 3. Ooh, this grass is nice and dark, which means I can move next. Okay, it is working. I just couldn't quite tell at first. Ugh. Okay. Swampland, swampland. Swampland. All right. Oh, that's actually awesome. That's perfect. It is going to be a slight bit more painstaking than I expected. So I think I will finish terraforming the island off stream. I've already had you guys sit through plenty of admittedly tedious activities today. Hey, no, you're not one of mine. Go away. All right. So with that final success under our belts, you are one of mine, though. I'm leaving zombie pigmen strewn everywhere because they don't normally come to the overworld. You are my friend. All right. My armor's getting low again. All right. Well, with that triumphant conclusion, thank you all so much for watching this lengthy day of streaming. I had a great time just sitting down and getting some projects done, doing some testing, just generally bopping all over the place. I hope you enjoyed as well. Next stream will probably be a lot more focused. I think it'll probably be time to do the Brazier's Conjuration, summoning spirits and all of that cool stuff, since I'm already almost prepped for it. So I'll finish up, I'll get that all ready to go, and then we'll have a much shorter and much more organized stream where we just work towards those specific witchery related goals. If you enjoyed this, though, of course, we can always do some more of these streams where I just work on what I'm working on, think about what I'm thinking about, since there is lots of general work I do on the server. And of course, we are approaching story territory. I'm very excited for some of our big events to come up ahead. I don't actually know a lot about them because I'm not one of the writers this season, so high hopes. Very interested to be surprised and presumably alarmed by what happens. So, with all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I am going to sign off here and get to some of these more tedious and slow activities that I've outlined for myself during today's stream. So, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time on the WitchCraft SMP.